So let me ask you this. Are you in the same boat as me with WandaVision? Now, here we are at the 3rd episode, and you're really liking the show, but you're getting really impatient. As fun as the little TV nostalgic trope is, what is going on? Can we please pull back the curtain a little bit more? Are you right there with me? Let's talk about it. Welcome to Durbania. I'm Durbin, and this is my spoiler talk review for WandaVision Episode 3. So, like I said, I don't want to give this a letter grade yet. Because who knows, after we get the last episode and the whole story is laid out in front of us, who knows how that will work backwards and affect how we view, like, the opening of the show. It could just change everything. So I want to withhold giving it a letter grade, but I will say I'm getting kind of impatient. Because I get it. The TV show nostalgic gimmick thing that they're doing, it's interesting. And they're doing fun things with it. And so I do enjoy the fun moments between Wanda and Vision and the sitcom-esque humor. Like, yes, that's really fun. But the really interesting stuff, what's going on with S.W.O.R.D., the Hydra commercials, when everybody starts to break character, how they seem to forget everything for just a moment, the fear and panic that's on their faces when they break character. Who are they afraid of? What are they afraid of? Like, the questions that begin to raise in those intense moments when it completely breaks the format that it's in are so good and so interesting that it's making me even more impatient with some of the sitcom style stuff that is happening. For instance, so I watched the whole episode and then I wanted to watch it back a second time in a row. You know, one time to watch it for fun, another time to watch it so that I could put my thoughts together for this review. And I just had a hard time paying attention the second time. I didn't even watch it all the way through the second time because I just started skipping to those moments where they broke character. So I wrote it down, the moments where they broke character, and I like it right there at the beginning. So the doctor comes to check on Wanda, and Vision walks him outside, and there's his neighbor, Herb, and he's just trimming the hedges. But he trimmed all the way through, hitting like the brick wall between their lawns, and starts going right through that. Like he's in some sort of delirium, like he's just staring off into space, and then Vision's like, "Hey, Herb, I think you're being a little overzealous there, trimming the hedges." And he's like, "Oh, well, thank you, neighbor." It's like that moment where he's still in a daze, but recapturing that character. So it makes you wonder, are they under a spell? And does it seem to need to be refreshed every once in a while, this spell? And so as it was kind of losing its grip, then they wake up and it regains its grip. Like, it's such an interesting little thing that's going on there. And it leads to this next really big moment. So Vision and Wanda, they're having that typical sitcom talk about, you know, uncharted water. You know, she's going to have a baby. Is it going to be half Vision, half Wanda? Like, what is this child even going to be like? And she talks about, like, yeah, it feels like everybody in this town is just on the edge of finding out her secret. And of course, she's referring to the fact that they're super people. But it triggers something in Vision. And so Vision sits down on the couch and starts recounting those strange character break moments and all the episodes leading up to here. And then all of a sudden, it's like a bad cut, as if it's a YouTube channel movie review jump cut, and the scene starts over, and then he's encouraging and he's talking about uncharted water. And just to interject another question here real quick, Wanda hiding her pregnancy from Geraldine and trying to keep her magical pregnancy a secret, it's part of that sitcom trope comedy that they do, and they spent a lot of time on. But are these twins even real? I mean, my gosh, if you're gonna ask if the twins are real, you might as well ask, is Vision real? Is he actually dead and this is just part of whatever illusion, whatever simulation? Or is he alive? Honestly, I think Vision is alive. Because in Infinity War, they talked about if they remove the stone from his head, it might not kill him. Because that gem, the Infinity Stone, might just be one part of his personality, but he's an overlay of Jarvis and Tony, and so he's such a complex creature that they might only be removing one bit of his personality, and his body was never destroyed, so they could have easily revived it. But the main reason that I think Vision is alive and kind of trapped in this simulation is because he's asking questions about his environment. Now, if Wanda was creating this, I would think if Vision was a creation from Wanda, he would be sticking to whatever script she has. Like, he wouldn't be questioning his environment. Or if she's imprisoned by somebody and this is happening to her, I don't think Vision would be questioning the program or what's going on. But Vision is questioning the program. He is questioning his world. So I think somehow, in some form, This is the real Vision somehow alive. What do you think? The other question I have, and I continue to ask, is this being done to Wanda, or is Wanda doing this? This episode leaves me with the impression Wanda is doing this. And it leaves me with that impression, and see if you're with me on this. It's at the end, after she had her twin babies, and she's alone with Geraldine, and Geraldine, well, first you have Wanda, and she's talking about the fact that, I am a twin, and talking about her twin brother and how he passed away. And Geraldine just suddenly, you see her struggling. It's like some part of her wants to stay in character while some part of her is remembering something distant, something far off. And then she says, he was killed by Ultron, wasn't he? And there's this look of panic on Wanda's face. And you can see Geraldine doing whatever she can to jump back into character. Because then, all the way up to this point, they break character and something happens and they can snap right back in like nothing has happened. And so that's what Geraldine tries to do, snap back in like nothing has happened. Meanwhile, outside, you have Vision suspicious again. Because you got Agnes and Herb, they're talking. And they're talking about strange things. And so Vision interrupts the conversation and they're asking about Geraldine, who has no kids, no husband, and no home. And that's interesting. And so as we're learning this about her, that in this town, in this place, she doesn't even have so much as a home. Here she is trying to, inside the house, bring everything back to normal, but Wanda won't have it. Just grilling her, why would you bring up Ultron? How do you know that? And then she cast Geraldine out. And when Vision comes in to the house, he goes, where's Geraldine? And she acts like it's normal. Oh, she went home in a hurry. And then it cuts to outside. Geraldine pops outside the bubble, hits the ground, rolling. And the other thing is she's wearing that necklace. The necklace has the sword symbol on it. And really, it's Wanda's expression when she sees the sword necklace. It's how Wanda acts after she cast out Geraldine. It makes me think that maybe Wanda is doing this, and Sword is trying to infiltrate her bubble, and maybe either save her and save the town, or maybe still, this could be happening to her, but she misses Vision so much, she's trying to hold on. Like, I don't know, but now I'm kind of leaning towards Wanda is doing this in her grief and not wanting to let go. And then Agnes and Herb, as they're talking to Vision, what's also interesting is I feel like the truth is about to come out. As Herb says, well, she's here because where? And Vision's like, what are you trying to tell me, man? Because where what? And then Agnes freaks out and doesn't let him continue. And it's just like, what? There is something strange going on in the neighborhood. And then the other thing is the doctor. So once the doctor gets there a little too late to help deliver the babies, and again, Vision is walking him out like the doctor was trying to go on vacation with his wife, but his car was broke down. And then he talks about, well, in a small town like this, there's no escape. And just the way he worded it, and kind of this little bit of fear, this edge of fear in his voice. It's not total fear. It's just like this tiniest edge of it in his voice. And it's like, there's no escape. What is going on? I want to tell you, me asking questions like this is why I keep coming back to this show. Why is it the TV show stuff? Why did the first 2 episodes start with the black and white show format? Why is this episode in the 70s? Why is it jumping through shows and jumping through decades like this? Like, why that gimmick? Why is that what's going on with the world? Is that just what Wanda saw as something ideal, or whoever's doing this to her saw as ideal? So I'm just trying to figure this out. So trying to figure out if this is Wanda doing this, if this is somebody else doing this, and then all the motivations that could be possibly going on. This is what is keeping me held to the show. I'm ready to move on with the TV gimmick. I want the curtain rolled back a little bit more. If this was a movie, I feel like, okay, we would have gotten the gimmick, we would have seen some decade hopping, we would have had a lot of fun with it, but because it's a movie, you're moving through this a little bit faster, you're pulling back the curtain a little bit more, and you're seeing what's really going on. Because it's a show, you can really take that time. So I like the relationship building. I like seeing how Wanda wants this life with Vision, and she will do anything to fiercely hang on to that life. At the same time, is Wanda doing this to have that life? Is it being done to her and she won't let it go because she really wants this life? Is it Sword? Is it Hydra? What in the blue moon is happening on this show? So I may not be ready for the reveal yet, but I'm definitely ready to go a little bit deeper into this. I don't feel like I want any more of these sitcom tropes to last as long as they do. So as funny as it was, her going into labor and how her going into labor affected the world around her, as funny as it was, Vision trying to get the doctor and all that stuff, it was all funny. But it's too long. It's like, can we move on to this stuff that is incredibly interesting? What is this world and what is going on? So I'm hoping as we get into episode 4, we can pull back that curtain a little bit more. So what did you think of this 3rd episode? Let's talk about that in the comments. And do you think Vision is actually alive or dead? Is this happening to Wanda? Or is Wanda doing this? What are your theories? Let's do that in the comments. While you're there, hit that subscribe button to become a Durbanian. Hit that bell by the subscribe button so you're notified for my next movie review, ranking video, WandaVision review, trailer reaction, or anything else I do here. I'm Durbin. Thanks for checking out Durbania.